Hey, what's up everyone? You're tuned into another episode of ProGuidanceXIII-S1Ep07. I'm your voice of choice, hidden in plain sight, and I'd like to thank you once again for rocking with me. Happy holidays. It's my favorite time of year, the holidays. Christmas is in the air, carols are buzzing, and everybody is excited just about what they're gonna get this Christmas. I love this time of year. I love the winter season. I'd like to say big ups to all my Sagittarius folks out there, all my Capricorns, all my Aquarius, all my December born babies, and all my January born babies, and everybody in general who likes the Christmas and the winter season. It's our time of year, it's our time to shine, and there's no other time of the year that's much more lit than this time. Sorry everybody born in the summer, but it's just not y'all time. It's our time now. Especially the January folks and the Aquarius born in January. You can't get any better than that. So, without further ado, this episode I wanted to focus on gifts that were given to me. I just wanted to share my experiences with gifts that were given to me and gifts that I have given over the past years and the value that they hold to me. Also, this is the season where we acknowledge our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ's birthday through the form of December 25th. And in honor of doing that, we also give gifts and we receive gifts just as the example that God has shown us, that he gave his only begotten son to die for our sins on the cross. So we do follow this tradition and we do give and receive gifts around this time. So this is why I'm going to focus this episode on the gifts that I have received and given over the past years, and what sentimental value they may have to me and just why they were so special to me. So I'm going to do this in the form of a few lists, everybody. So get ready, because we're going to have a blast with these lists. So first things first, the top 5 gifts that I've received ever in life. Number 1, my Super Nintendo Entertainment System. Yes, this is where it all began, and I'd like to tell you guys that I received this on my first ever Christmas. Well, not technically my first Christmas, but I was 1 year old when I received my Super NES. And why wouldn't this be my favorite Christmas gift? It was the thing that got me into the video gaming industry, that got me the way that I am today, to make me the person that I am today, the person who loves all of these video games and such or whatever. It's because of the Super NES. So I'd like to thank my parents for giving me that. This was in 1990. The Super Nintendo had just released, I think that summer prior to that Christmas, and fortunate enough, me and my sister were one of the first kids. I wouldn't say one of the first kids, but we were in the top tier of people who got the Super NES very early on, and trust me, it provided years. It still does provide entertainment for me up until this day. So this is one of my most special and cherished Christmas gifts, and I'd like to once again just thank my parents for coming through that Christmas and getting me the Super NES. Now I know some of you might be thinking, PG or Hips, it sounds like you were a baby when you got that. So Jess, how were you able to even compute? You probably didn't even know what was going on. You didn't recognize what was going on. And truth be told, at first I didn't, but after I got used to it, I started picking up the controllers. I played as often as I could, and now I'm the video game guru that you know today, shaped, born, and bred from the Super NES that one fateful Christmas. So yeah, well, I'm gonna have an episode coming up later on in the future just describing my mentality and my dedication to these video games, because a lot of people doesn't understand or do not understand just exactly why I'm so attached to them. And that's one of the underlying messages of why I'm so attached to it. When it's something that you have been molded from, which you have been a part of from your inception, from since you were born, there's no way you could break away from it, if you understand the drift that I'm getting at. I'm sure a lot of you listeners might agree, so yeah, look out for that episode later down the line. My second favorite gift that I've received on Christmas was my Sega Dreamcast. And I remember the marketing scheme that Sega came out with when the Dreamcast came out. They were saying that the Dreamcast was coming out on September 9th in 1999. And if you break that down, that's the 9th month and the 9th day in the 99th year. So yeah, that was a pretty clever marketing scheme that they have, and I already spoke about the Dreamcast in one of my prior episodes to this one, but just to reiterate, The Dreamcast was Sega's swan song. It was their final video game console before they pulled out of making consoles in the video gaming market and becoming a third-party developer and just create video games. But man, was it a time to be alive to have a Sega Dreamcast. And the funny thing was, I was supposed to get a Dreamcast at Christmas because that's what I asked for. You know, when children normally ask for a Christmas present, more than likely if they have somebody that loves them, the person tries their hardest to get it. Well, I remember specifically that Christmas, I was in primary school and I was being a naughty boy around the time of the holidays. And spoiler alert, even though my parents aren't listening to this, but if they eventually do listen to this, spoiler alert, I heard my mom on the phone one night over talking about giving away my Sega Dreamcast because I just wasn't up to par, and I was like, oh no, I have a Sega Dreamcast and she's gonna give it away. Another spoiler alert, parents, if you're listening, eventually, I kind of spoiled a whole lot of Christmases because we always knew the gifts before you guys got them. I mean, not because we asked stuff what the gifts, asked you guys to give us the gifts, but we kind of just did some snooping around before Christmas. I'm sure every child has a testimony to that. But yeah, I heard my mom talking on the phone one night to my auntie, I believe, or my uncle, one of the two, talking about how they was going to give my cousin my Dreamcast. And I'm like, no, I need to pull up my boots, pull up my pants, and shape up so I can get my Dreamcast on Christmas. Evidently, I did. And I was most definitely a happy camper that Christmas because that same Christmas I got my Sega Dreamcast. And boy, I was so ecstatic and happy for that. And once again, I'd like to thank my parents for still pulling through and giving me the Dreamcast, even though I was being a naughty boy around the time. I truly appreciate it. I respect my Dreamcast. I still have it to this day. And the video games I got for it, initially, I only had a demo disc, I believe. I didn't have any video game. I eventually did get more video games, but hey, that demo disc was able to put me over, to hold me over, you know. Alright, so my third favorite gift that I received on Christmas was my Sega Saturn. And I got the Sega Saturn, I'm trying to remember if I got my Sega Saturn the year that it came out, or maybe a year after. And I remember my godmother gave me my Sega Saturn on Christmas, and I really appreciate that gift. Also, she got me the Sega Saturn. It came with a bootleg sampler disc, and she also got me an Iron Man video games, which, a bit of information, a bit of trivia right here, that video game actually got me to choose Iron Man as my favorite Marvel superhero / Avenger. So yeah, that was pretty much my, I guess, inception to Iron Man. I think I've heard or saw about him before getting my Sega Saturn and getting that Iron Man game, but that's definitely when I went into depth with Iron Man, and I'm saying like, hey, he's my favorite Marvel superhero. Spidey had to take one for the team. He had to drop on the tail list. But I remember that. I think, if I could remember correctly, my Sega Saturn, there was some bugs with it. It wasn't working properly when I first got it, so I had to actually send it back to the States and get another copy. But nonetheless, it was the thought that counted, and ultimately I still had a Sega Saturn. So once again, I'd like to thank my godmother for that one. Fourth on the list. So the fourth one on the list was my Game Boy Color, and right now I'm sure you guys are seeing a trend. Yeah, I remember getting my Game Boy Color. This is another spoiler. Yeah, I kind of went into the closet that Christmas and I saw the Game Boy Color after I asked for it, and I'm like, oh, Game Boy Color on the way, and with the video game that I specifically asked for that Christmas. This was around the time when Pokemon Blue, Red, and Yellow was booming, and yet I still asked for Donkey Kong Country for the Game Boy Color. What was I even thinking? You know what I'm saying? I think I never actually owned a copy of Pokemon Blue, Red, or Yellow. I never owned any copy of any Pokemon game to my knowledge. I just borrowed all them and I played them as much as possible. Yeah, so I went into the closet, found the Game Boy Color in the color that I asked for. I asked for a lime green Game Boy Color. Got the color, got Donkey Kong Country. I think that was the only video game I got for it that Christmas. But what the who, I enjoyed the heck out of that. I still have my Game Boy Color. I still have majority of my video game systems from when I got them. So later down the line, you know, they're gonna be antiques. Well, and I've been thinking of selling them, but I mean, selling them as antiques, but I think I'm gonna ultimately keep them and hand them down to my children, if I do, or whenever I do have children, just to show them part of my history, where I came from. But yeah, that's my fourth favorite Christmas gift. And fifth on the list was Crash Team Racing and Pac-Man World, which I got at the same time that Christmas. I don't remember the year I got it. I think this was the same year that these two games came out, and I was all hyped for these games, you know. Oh no, I forgot something else. You know what? I'm gonna include a next entry with this one. That was Crash Team Racing, Pac-Man World, and Spyro the Dragon. Now, I'm not sure if I got all of these video games the same year. I doubt it. I totally doubt it. But for the Crash Team Racing and the Pac-Man World, I have to thank my uncle for getting me those games. And once again, I have to thank the same godmother who got me my Sega Saturn for the Spyro the Dragon. I remember when these games first came out, I was crazy mad about getting them, and I was hoping that I was able to get them, and eventually I did, and I was just enjoying the heck out of them once I got them. 3 great PlayStation games to this day, 3 classics that I still enjoy, and I'm ever so thankful for getting those gifts. So thank you, family, for those top 5 video games that I gotten, and I'm sure you guys saw a pattern with that. All of those were video game based, and why the hell not? Not saying that I didn't appreciate any other gifts that I was gotten, because I got a whole lot of cool gifts over the years, such as, you know, jewelry, watches, obviously clothes, money, train sets, and the like. But these games resonated to my character, my personality more, or these gifts resonated to my personality and character more, and I definitely appreciate them, and they're some of the most memorable gifts that I could even remember. So alright, so moving on to the next topic, we're gonna go down the top 5 video games on my wish list this year. So I know I seem a little bit too old to be having a wish list of Christmas gifts that I want for Christmas, but if anybody knows me, I'm a big kid at heart, so why the hell not still have a Christmas wish list, right? So here we go. Number 1 on my list. Obviously, well, if you guys didn't know, I just recently got a Nintendo Switch, and I'm loving the heck out of it. It's very comfortable, it's very trendy, and it's great overall. So why not my first wish list gift would be Super Mario Odyssey for the Nintendo Switch, because so far all I have for my Switch is The Legend of Zelda: Breath in the Wild. So why not round that off with the next major Nintendo title on the Switch at the moment, Super Mario Odyssey. It looks like a very fun-filled time. It looks like a very adventurous video game, and I would love to experience it. So anybody listening out there who wants to rise my hopes up and do something very special for your boy, go to the store and get Super Mario Odyssey for me. Anybody in Nassau, it's not that hard. All you have to do is go to Gamer in the Mall of Marathon. Shameless plug. I guess I shouldn't have done that. Well, anyway, go to Gamer in the Mall of Marathon, and it's gonna be right on the Nintendo Switch shelf. Simple as that. About what, $54 maybe, $59, who knows. It's not too much of a hefty price in my opinion. Maybe for other people it might be, but guess what, doesn't matter. If you really want to get it, you want to impress me, go and get that. All right, I'd appreciate you so much more, Santa Claus. Alright, so second on the list, what do we have? Another Nintendo Switch game, Puyo Puyo Tetris. And I always get confused by saying, I love to say Puyo Pop. There was an installment of the franchise called Puyo Pop, and I always remember it by Puyo Pop, but it's the same thing basically. So Puyo Puyo Tetris. It's a puzzle game, which is one of my favorite genres of video games, and I love Puyo Puyo, I love Tetris, and they're combined into one ultimate game. So why the hell not get me that game? That would be awesome. It looks like the multiplayer experience is very, very nice in that video game, so that too. And once again, guess what? Anybody in Nassau, you could go to the same store that I just mentioned to go and get this video game. So once again, Santa Claus, you want to impress me? You want to do something special for me? Hook your boy up. Third on the list, let me give you guys some time to think about it. another Nintendo Switch video game, this time in the form of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Now I do have Mario Kart 8 for the Wii U, but why not get the expansion pack in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, right? Although I've kind of lost my mojo and my luster and my excitement for Mario Kart, why the hell not get it for Switch, because it's just a thing to do, right? So once again, sing it with me choir. It's in the mall, in the video game store. Santa Claus, if you want to impress me, do me a favor, get it for your boy. Alright, number 4 on my wish list this year. Let the church say Doom, for none other than the Nintendo Switch. I think you guys are beginning to see another trend and another pattern here, right? But yeah, so Doom, first-person shooter game, reboot of a franchise that has been rebooted once, but it didn't necessarily need to. But hey, why the hell not? Because it's a very good franchise and a lot of people like it, and this time around there's no different. Everybody still likes the franchise and it looks very, very, very interesting to play. It's Doom for the Nintendo Switch. And mind you, I must say that the Nintendo Switch version holds up a candle to the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4's version, so I'm very proud of that, which is exactly why I want to get the video game. It looks interesting and it looks like I'm gonna have a lot of fun. Anytime I need to blow off some steam, I could just pop Doom in and have a fun time. Now, I do know that it was at the Mall at Marathon, but I think they're sold out, but more than likely they're gonna get some more copies. So guess what, Santa Claus, hook your boy up one more time, eh? I mean, if I haven't the same Santa Claus get me all of these gifts, I must be a really, really, really rich Santa Claus. So if you're a rich Santa Claus and you get me all of these games, trust me, I'm gonna be your buddy forever. Not because you're rich, because you actually thought to get me these gifts, even though I'm asking for them, you know? And to round it all out, number 5, but definitely not least. Well, we know it's a video game, but do we know that it's inside the Mall at Marathon? Unfortunately, this one isn't in the Mall at Marathon. The truth about this one is it's not in a mall at all. It's a digital download video game. And you haven't heard from my favorite character yet, so now I think it's about time to, hit you guys with him. It's Sonic Mania, the Nintendo Switch version. Now, I do have Sonic Mania for my Xbox One. I always like to have certain video games for multi-platform consoles. And to tell the truth, the only video game franchise that I have for multi-platform consoles is Sonic the Hedgehog in the form of Sonic Unleashed for Xbox 360 and for the Nintendo Wii, and Sonic the Hedgehog 4 for my Nintendo Wii once again and my Xbox 360 once again. Yeah. So why not go 3 for 3 and have Sonic Mania on my Xbox One and then have Sonic Mania on my Nintendo Switch? And I've heard that the Nintendo Switch is the superior form of Sonic Mania. So if anybody wants to be my lovely Santa Claus once again, just either you can give me the money on my account or you can get me a Nintendo Switch e-card. I think they have Nintendo Switch eShop cards now that will enable me to download Sonic Mania for my Nintendo Switch. I would love you and I appreciate you guys for that, so get working on that, Santa Claus, alright? So yeah, you guys seeing the trend with the games that I'd like to receive this Christmas. Once again, video games, because that's who I am. I'm sure you guys might be thinking this guy is totally materialistic, he just wants a lot of material things. No, trust me, I definitely would like love, peace and joy, and for everybody to be safe this Christmas holiday. That almost goes without saying. I think almost everybody with the right mind would want that. So yeah, just stay safe out there, guys, this Christmas, and make sure you do all of your shopping safe. Be alert, be vigilant of what's going on around you, because we do know that crime does hiding around these times. So we just like to say, be on your guard and make sure to keep yourself safe and keep your friends and family safe and keep each other in prayers. So yeah, so I've talked about me receiving gifts, but we all know 'tis better to give than to receive. So I'm gonna hit you with a top 5 list of the best gifts that I think that I have given over these past years on the Christmas holiday. So I think the best gift that I've gave overall during the Christmas holiday was jewelry to my mother. Who else but not my mother, I really appreciate, love and respect my mother, so why not give her some bling on the holidays, First of all, she's a lady, and you know ladies love blings. Not trying to make you guys sound superficial or materialistic, but hey, if you got the coin, why not spend it to show your appreciation and love for somebody? Now, I don't remember which article of jewelry I gave my mother. I think I gave almost all articles of jewelry over these Christmases past. Watches, earrings, bracelets, the whole 9 yards or whatever. So yeah, jewelry is number one, given to my mother. Number 2 was the House of the Dead, the Dreamcast port. I remember I owned that video game, and I said, you know what? I have a cousin who loves to play the game even more than me. Unfortunately, none of us had the Dreamcast light gun for the game. We just had to use controllers to play the game, but he really liked to come over to my house to play that video game. So I said, you know what? Why the hell not? Let me wrap this up for this guy and just give it to him for Christmas. And that I did, and he did appreciate that on his Dreamcast until he lent it out. It got stolen, and you know the rest. You know the deal from there on. But I'd still like to say it was one of the best video games I given, because I pretty much love that game myself. So for me at that young and tender age to say, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give my cousin one of my very prized possessions, means that I was able to think not about myself, I was able to think about somebody else, means that I was being selfless and I was able to think about somebody else, and I just was able to give somebody else a gift that was very dear to me, even though I still wanted it. Third on the list is the Black Album by Jay-Z, and I gave this gift to my sister. I remember that Christmas holiday, I think that was the same year that came out, and me and my sister are big Jay-Z fans. So the Black Album had just came out, and I was like, man, I really want this album for myself, but I'm gonna give it to my sister because I know she'd really appreciate it more than I would, and that she did. And that was a fire album, if anybody remember. That was the album with Dirt Off Your Shoulders and Light, and that was dope. You know, I still wish I should have just gotten 2 copies back then. I wasn't thinking as a child, but who the hell cares? It doesn't matter to me right now. I could always go and re-download it or whatever, but I really was happy to give my sister that gift, and she really did appreciate the gift. So yeah, that's number 3. Number 4 on the list, we have Pokemon Platinum, and I gave that to a friend of mine a few Christmases back, which was for the Nintendo DS, I believe. Yeah, I think my friend had a DS, so I gave him Pokemon Platinum for the DS. I remember I went over to Freeport and I went to a video gaming store over there, and I said, you know what, why the hell not just get this guy a video game? We were cool, we were very cool, and I said I should do something nice for him. You know, he always was doing stuff nice for me back in the day. He still does, still have a good bond or whatever. So I said, I'm gonna surprise him. He loves Pokemon just like I do, so I said, why not get him the game? So I went out there and I got him Pokemon Platinum for the Nintendo DS. He was very appreciative of it, and it actually helped him a whole lot because he was able to connect it with some other Pokemon game and transfer. You know how those things go. He was able to transfer over Pokemon and the whole 9 yard or whatever. So yeah, he appreciated it. I don't know if he still has it now or whatever he done with it, but it doesn't matter to me. I just was happy to know that I could make somebody else happy through buying them a gift. Finally, to round out this list of gifts that I've given is a hand-drawn portrait of my little baby cousin that was born last year in a custom frame. If anybody knows me, when it comes to giving gifts, even though the prior 4 entries don't seem like over-the-top gifts during the Christmas time, they seem like just go-to, easy, accessible buying gifts. If I really put my mind to it, I could be really creative in what I present as a gift to anybody. Once I really feel inclined to give this person a gift, once I feel that they're worthy to get a gift, I would make sure and make the gift unique. It doesn't necessarily have to be expensive, even though I would spend coin to make sure a gift is very, very unique for the person that I'm giving it to, but sometimes it doesn't have to be expensive. So what I did was last year, my cousin who was just born in September, I said, why not give him a gift on his first Christmas? And I didn't want it to be a traditional little baby something, you know what I'm saying? I didn't want it to be some go-to item or whatever. So I had a friend by the name of Tia. I'm calling your government name Tia. Thank you so much for drawing that portrait. It was dope. It was lovely. She also drew one for me too, and I still appreciate that portrait. So I asked her to draw that out for me, and then I went and I got a custom frame for it, and I put him in the frame, and I presented it to him on Christmas Day. Needless to say, his mother, my cousin, and my cousin-in-law, his father, they really appreciated the gift. I hope that when he grows up, he appreciates the present, he loves it, and from what I remember, it was the only gift I think he got that Christmas. Not saying that his parents didn't get him a gift or anything, but I think they just didn't want to be caught up in all of that jazz about getting gifts or whatever for the baby or whatever, you know? So I'm happy I kind of got that type of gift also. I didn't want to get some type of superficial thing, which is why they really liked it so much more too, because it wasn't really a superficial, oh, Christmas Day, you gotta get something, you know, stereotypical. No, it was something very, very unique. So yeah, those were just a few lists and experiences of Christmas gifts that I have gotten and I have given over the years. And I'd like to say, everybody out there, have happy holidays. Once again, be safe, be very vigilant, and let's just spread love, joy, and peace around the world. This Christmas and all the Christmas coming up, let's share it all year round, and let's just be our brother's keepers. Try to live in peace as much as possible. And really, if there's somebody out there that you want to show your appreciation for, I encourage all of you guys to make some type of effort to go and get them a gift and give it to them so that they could see that you really appreciate them and that they feel loved. And hopefully, I hope that anybody who asks for Christmas gifts, they either get a Christmas gift that they ask for, or somebody actually takes the time out to put in effort to get you guys a Christmas gift. So yeah, thanks for tuning in this week to this episode. Once again, happy holidays, and I'd like to thank each and every one of you who listen to me from week to week. I appreciate you guys, and slowly but surely I will have shout out time to all of you who do listen to this podcast faithfully. Once again, thank you all. Leave any comments below on what you'd like me to talk about. Leave some comments if you had some great Christmas gifts. Tell me about them, you know. You could either WhatsApp me, you could either leave some comments, however you feel like. Yeah, tell me exactly what your Christmas experiences were like. Tell me some of the worst gifts that you probably got. That would be pretty funny. Maybe I should have, next time, I'll do a list on top 5 worst gifts that I got for Christmas. Not next week, but hopefully in this Christmas season I'll let you guys know the top 5 worst gifts that I gotten for Christmas. But anyway, without any further ado, I don't want to hold you guys up any longer, so I'm about to sign out. I'd like to say thank you once again for listening. This has been Hidden in Plain Sight, and have a wonderful rest of your day.